Greetings and welcome everyone to Age of Empires 2. Age of Empires 2 is a real-time strategy. What am I doing? You guys don't need to know this. You guys know what Age of Empires 2 is. It's one of the greatest games of all time, and unfortunately, when it came to modern systems, it wasn't really compatible with modern software, so you were unable to play it. But thankfully, the fine folks over at Microsoft and Ensemble Studios were like, hey, wait a second, Age of Empires 2 is fantastic. Let's just bring Age of Empires 2 and all of the expansion packs we made for Age of Empires 2 and bring them into the modern day with an HD edition. We'll give it Steamworks support. You can play multiplayer with your friends. You can get Steam achievements. You can upload your maps to the Steam Workshop and so much more. And then just pretty much leave it the same, because why mess with perfection? This is pretty much the base game, just with a few minor additions that make it that much better, like with the multiplayer for Steam DRM and the map editor for the Steamworks DRM, and that's pretty much it. And then it's just, the normal game. Alright, so I realize I said everyone knows what Age of Empires 2 is, but that's a little bit presumptuous of me. I realize that there are tons of people who haven't played Age of Empires 2 just because it doesn't work on modern systems. So my goal for this video is to basically just show you what the game is about and how it works, the basics of it, and hopefully encourage you to purchase the game on Steam. Now, this is the options menu. Basically, this is where you can change your game settings and you can customize it to basically make it really difficult or really easy and stuff like that. So I'm pretty rubbish since I haven't played it in nearly a decade. So yeah, I'm going to play it on easiest against one other player, resources high, population. This is how many characters you can have, your units. I'm going to have 500 just because I'm awesome. All visible. I always use a cheat code just to get the map showing, so excuse me, okay? I'm just like, show me the map, please. Thank you. Now I'm going to start in the feudal age since I just want to get to the castle age and win. There we go. Yeah, and then everything else looks fine to me, whatever. Start the game. Oh, that music. Oh, it brings me back, man. It brings me back. Oh my. Oh, yeah, this is crazy. Okay, so where's our little guy? Where's our king? Is that the eagle warrior? Let's just put him inside here. I don't really care. Okay, so this is Age of Empires 2. So, oh shit, they're already busy at work. Crap, I gotta start getting my guys to work. So these are our little villages, and we can put them to work by right-clicking them. We can highlight them, we can right-click an area, and then they'll go to work on it. So you see how they're currently chopping down this wood, this tree here? Sorry, they'll be getting wood once they finish cutting it up, and then they'll bring it back to me, and then it'll go up here in my little supplies. Then I can build more unique things. So let's have this villager build something for us. So if you see up here, they'll say 5 out of 5 players. So we need another house so that we can get more villagers, which is something that I want. Let's put it over here. There we go. Okay, so now this little villager is going to go build that little house, but it's taking a while since you see the progress bar. It's like, oh, it's actually not taking that while at all. But anyway, let's have our little villager build a more complex structure. How about this watchtower? A watchtower is a nice little addition for your place to have, although it's definitely not recommended at this early stage in the game. But anyway, let's drag over some more characters to select them, and then we will right-click on the structure we want to build, and this will add them to the building so they build it faster and more efficiently. So it's a very nice way to help build stuff more efficiently and quicker, as I don't believe there is a fast forward function in this game. So this is what you have to do to fast things up. Now this game features a resource system, which is where you send your villagers on a little adventure to find some more resources for you, basically. On the top left it lists stone, food, wood, gold, and basically all that kind of stuff, which is what you use to purchase some items and research upgrades for your characters. So it's really nice stuff. So now we can get food by right-clicking this deer. We're going to send our main trio of villagers over there to attack those deers. And then once they do that, they'll die. Those deer won't know what'll hit them, pal. So if they'll just slowly make their way over there. As far as I know, there's no way to speed up their movement speed. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't played this game in nearly a decade, so maybe I just don't remember the buttons. But yeah, that's basically all I know. So now they're collecting food from it. So there's a little number of food down here, which says 100 and such. And that's how much food you can get from them. And then once they pick it up, it will go to your food stockpile, which is just over here. Simple as. And then after acquiring a certain amount of resources, you can click on any of the buildings, or specific buildings rather, and then you can do certain upgrades. Like on the town center, you can build a new villager, or create a new villager rather. You can't exactly build it. So it will queue up all these villagers to be created, and it will take 50 food to do that. So the reason we want to create villages and, you know, collect all that food and such is so that we can build more buildings, and then all those buildings can be used to upgrade your units and villages and create a dock. So basically we want to build the dock so that we can, you know, create the fishing ships, create the transport ships, and basically all of those can be only created with a dock. You can't create a ship in your town center, for example. The town center is for creating villages, and the villages can then build the dock, and that's how it works. There's this very natural flow of expansionism and such like that. It's very, very awesome. You go from one little thing to a bigger thing, and then a bigger thing to a bigger thing, and it's like, holy crap, what is going on? It's so gigantic, I can't control it. Alright, let us create some new buildings since we've already got the fishing dock down. So how about creating a blacksmith? Blacksmiths are pretty cool. They can improve your militia's combat and such. So let's place that right down there. And it seems like we've reached our population limit, so let's also build a few new homes. There's a home, there it is, thank you. Okay, let's place that down right there. And now all we have to do is wait for our villagers to get finished constructing the buildings, and it should be set to go. And now with a little TV magic, we have returned with our homes and blacksmiths perfectly constructed. Now, excuse me, I'm going to be playing with these turkeys. The turkeys are actually really nice ways to scout the map, because you can just use them and send them around. But since we have the fog of war turned off, we don't really need to scout around since, well, we can see everything, so what's the point in sending out a scout? Now, I'm going to have this villager create some barracks so we can create our own little personal army so we can attack the enemy. Oh, TV magic, I love you so much. Yes, we have constructed the barracks, and now we are ready to create some more people. But now we can also research. This is something that certain buildings can do. You research it by giving up a certain amount of your specific items, or rather specific resources from your stockpile. So see at the top left we have the gold, wood, stone, all that kind of stuff. If we give up an X amount of that, we can increase something that our units can do. So we can say, for example, increase the line of sight so that we can have a clearer view of the around us, so the fog of war isn't so blurry, and then we can see if an enemy is about to attack us. Now this isn't too useful since we have the fog of war turned off on this, but normally when the fog of war is turned on, that is actually quite useful. So that's pretty good. So now if we click on the characters to spawn them, it'll take certain amounts of resources away from our stockpile, and if we click it to remove it, it won't give that food back. So it's best to make sure that you make a good decision, because otherwise you're just left with lesser resources than what you started off with. So yeah, it's very serious. Well, not that serious. I mean, just unless, of course, you're pressing the wrong button all the time, then it would be kind of serious. But for the most part, it's fairly simple. Now, we can also build multiple barracks so that we can create more stuff quicker. So we can increase the amount of production that we have. So if we have 3 barracks, obviously we are creating units 3 times as quickly. Technically, we are anyway. Alright, so we have now spawned quite a few more enemies, as well as spawned in a few new barracks, or rather they have finished being constructed. So now we have a brand new team of minions at our disposal, which can be used to attack the enemy. Now, I'm just going to try out a cheat code real quick, because this is really the main thing that I would do. Okay, that didn't work, huh? Normally that gives you 1,000 food. Like, I remember typing this in when I was doing my schoolwork, totally. Yeah, at school I was playing this game, and I typed that in, and it would give me an extra food. So that's a little shocking that it didn't work. Oh well, so let's just build more homes and such, because we've currently reached our population limit, and to fix that we have to create more homes for our characters to live in. So that's no good. Well, the fact that we can't, you know, create more characters isn't good, that is. Not the fact that we have to create more homes. That actually is a nice way to prevent you from, you know, just going crazy and actually going insane, pretty much, and it's a nice little struggle. But anyway, I don't really have to explain what makes Age of Empires 2 good. It's a fantastic game, you obviously know. So these are all of our armies so far, and this is one of the minions. So let's have some fun with him. Yeah, you guys go crazy and chase him. Alright, so I couldn't actually find that guy. He was actually, well, I mean, I could find him, there's no fog of war, but he was just way too fast and he wouldn't hold up for me, so I'm going to just attack some of their buildings anyway. So you see, this is their health, and that is what's in them, or rather what they can do, and so we want to bring their health down to 0 so that it gets destroyed, pretty much. So we'll have our guys attacking the building, and it will slowly start to look more and more visibly destroyed. So you see how there's now fire on it? Well, that means it's getting destroyed, which is good, because we want to destroy them all so we can win. Alright, so I'm going to take a break from discussing Age of Empires 2, and instead discuss Age of Empires 2 HD Edition, and how it's different from Age of Empires 2. This is going to get confusing, I can see. Anyway, Age of Empires 2 HD Edition is different in the fact that they've completely reworked how the graphics look. Well, not completely. It is different, but not entirely different. They've brought the engine, rather than from, I think, like Direct Draw or DX, like, 6 to DX9, so it will work with all modern systems, Windows XP and above, as of time of recording. I don't know if there's some sort of future computer which doesn't use DirectX, maybe uses, like, XDirect, but anyway, that is one of the main differences. So you can play this on a modern system, and it can go up to 1080p or over that, which is also great since the original was only 1024 by 768 to my knowledge, so you couldn't even play it in 16 by 9, which this one actually does support, which is also great, as well as multi-monitor support. It's basically just all the modern tweaks you'd expect from a modern game, but put into an older game known as Age of Empires 2, which is perfectly fine by me since this is still a great game, and now just making it playable, well, that's fine by me. It's obviously not being reworked to look 3D. It's not, they don't have any polygons. It is like that sprite 3D, like what Doom made famous. Like it's 2.5D pretty much, or it's isometric 3D, I think is actually the technical term. But regardless, it's still a fantastic looking game. It's one of those games which has a retro look, but it's not ugly. Like there are very few games that actually manage to survive the transition to 3D, which look fine, and this is actually one of the few of them. But anyway, this is Age of Empires 2 HD I'm talking about. And one of the other things that Age of Empires 2 has is the water support. It basically makes everything look a lot more better in terms of water, fire, ambient lighting, and just in general, it looks better. So it's HD-ified, pretty much. So that's what you would expect. And this has been my first impressions of Age of Empires 2 HD Edition. To summarize, basically, it's Age of Empires 2, but better looking and with all the modern features you would expect. So it's pretty fantastic. So I would recommend you pick it up. If you're into Age of Empires 2, of course. If you're not into Age of Empires 2, well then obviously you are wrong about everything ever. You can currently pre-purchase it on Steam, and if you do so, you will get 10% off, and you can start playing it on April 5th, rather than the normal April 10th, when the game is actually supposed to release. There's actually also a rather nice deal for a 4-player pack. You basically just purchase 4 games, but at the cost of 3 games. So it's like, hold on, if I was going to play with 4 people, then why wouldn't I pick this? Well, you'd be silly if you didn't. But anyway, this has been Age of Empires 2 HD Edition, and I have won. I totally didn't cheat. Your crazy assumptions are ludicrous. I did not cheat. I am a fair player, and that cheat code that I put in was totally fair. But anyway, if you'd like me to play this game as an actual Let's Play, I'd be interested in actually doing that. Maybe doing like a few videos on it, maybe more in-depth, maybe? So just leave a comment telling me if you think I should do it and actually, you know, focus on doing some strategic stuff and such. So yeah, GG.